Excited to welcome back to the show our friend, WokeAF contributor, and the author of Dying Whiteness, How the Politics of Racial Resentment is Killing America's Heartland, Jonathan Metzl. Jonathan, welcome back.
Thank you.
I hope that one day soon we get to have you on the show and talk about how much progress we have made.
I cannot wait.
With race relations and where we're going in America, but today is not that day. So,
it could be that day, right? Because this pandemic is an opportunity for us to actually look at the structural problems that are being illuminated here and then fix them, right? This pandemic
yes.
is a wake-up call for everybody. So I'm sorry that's not the case, because the problems are very clear. So I wish we could have that conversation, because that would be great. That would make everyone safer.
I mean, so here we have it. We have a couple of different maps that are going on in America right now. We have the map of hotspots, right? We were just breaking news yesterday was the fact that now Washington, D.C. has become one of the country's hotspots. New York is trending downwards, where you and I both are. We're New Yorkers, being led by Governor Cuomo, are flattening the curve, and he is not reopening the whole state. He is doing section by section based on density, based on data and science. But then you have the rest of the country that is on a rush to reopen. And what is undeniable is how much racism, who is expendable and who is not, is playing into the reopening of America. Talk to me about what you are seeing and the trends that you're noticing.
Well, I think just hit on a couple of very important trends. I mean, first of all, let me say, we all want to reopen,
Right.
I mean, it's not like one group wants to reopen more than anyone else. Everybody wants to go back to work. Everybody's going crazy of eating oatmeal for dinner and staying home, and everybody's tired of the trauma and the tragedy that are surrounding us. And so I think the misnomer here is one group wants to stay home and one group wants to go back. Everybody misses real life. It looks like it's just right outside your window in a way. And so part of the issue is, we want to do it in a way that's safe. And it's not like there aren't models. There are models all over the world of ways that there are different phased reopenings. But what's being promoted in a lot of Midwestern and kind of red states is a mode of reopening that is completely at odds with what the rest of the world has shown to be a safe phased reopening. In other words, they just want to throw open the doors and go back to business. And I think that's dangerous for a couple of reasons. One, as you alluded to, is that if we look at, for example, Georgia, mm-hmm. the kinds of businesses that get reopened right away just happen to be businesses where there are high numbers of minoritized populations who are the people in the front lines at risk. And so I think one of the main dangers here is that the communities that were at risk from the virus itself, from the structural violence of the virus, are then going to be put at danger again, because they're the people who are working in these businesses where they've got to expose themselves yet again. And I think that the data is going to show this, that Black and brown communities are going to suffer the brunt of the death and illness, not just from the pandemic, but then also from the reopening. And I think that's really one of the main issues, is kind of who are we putting at risk when we reopen. And then second is just this issue of these protests that are being done completely at odds with what we know about the virus.
Logic.
Yeah, right. They're almost like it's kind of like those old before they had a treatment for chicken pox, and they would just have parties and let everybody get chicken pox. But this ain't the chicken pox, right? So this is so the other part is just how many people are being put at risk by these protests. And if it was just the protesters themselves being put at risk, then you could be well, you made a choice, you decided to do this. But this is a virus that works like secondhand smoke, right? That everybody around you is put at risk when people act like that. So the other issue is, because of these particular kinds of protests. And we're seeing this, for example, in Wisconsin, that people who went to these open up protests ended up getting sick and then infecting people in their families, people, first responders, hospital workers, all these kind of things. So it's just like, just think of the term going viral. Like that's actually because
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And that's because a virus acts like this, right? It's not just you, it spreads out to
Correct.
networks. So yeah, so this just, it's such a lost opportunity right now, I think, for us. And I know that Dr. Fauci, for example, is, as we speak right now, testifying, I think, in the same way, which is, it's not like anybody's against reopening, but if we do it in a way that's stupid, it's just going to lead to, preventable illness and death, which is ostensibly what we should be trying to do in the middle of all this suffering anyway.